What's up, Skyhawks? Welcome back to the Skyhawk Talk. I'm your host, Catherine Sweeney, and today I am here with a junior forward on the men's ice hockey team at Stonehill, Anthony Galante.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Of course. The pleasure's all mine.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into things.
Sounds good.
If someone had to understand Anthony in one sentence, what would they need to know?
Well, I feel like this question, I could sit and talk to you for hours about it, but
About yourself.
Yeah. So, just a quick brief thing. I would say I'm a family-oriented guy. I would say I work hard in almost anything I do. I like to stay busy, and I have a big heart, so I would just say I'm a friendly guy. Smile a lot. So
Smile a lot.
Yeah.
You have a great smile.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so you grew up playing a bunch of sports with your siblings. Who was the most competitive in your family?
Yeah, so me being 7 years old, younger than my oldest brother, he was definitely always the most competitive. I was always playing against, obviously, people who were 5, 6, 7 years older than me, so it was definitely a challenge for me. But my oldest brother, John, he would never take it easy on me. He never let me win. So I definitely say he's the most competitive, and I think that I get my competitiveness from him. Mm-hmm. My brother, Vin, he was always pretty competitive too. We were a competitive family, but Vin was a little nicer, so he would give me some moral victories here and there. So that was pretty much it. John is definitely the most competitive, still is today. We still have arguments. It's what are we fighting about? Stupid stuff.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 older brothers and an older sister.
So you're the youngest of
I am
4.
the youngest, yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You give younger sibling vibes, I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Heard that.
All right, so if someone spent a day with you away from the rink, what would they probably find you doing?
I guess it really depends on the time of year. So, if I'm back at school, I'm definitely finding some things to do with my roommates. Pretty much anything we do, we're always having a good time laughing. So, just trying to stay active. But if I'm, home back in the summer, I'm definitely spending time with family, like I mentioned earlier. Spending time with my family, friends, working, getting outdoors, going to the beach, playing golf.
Very active.
Hanging out with my girlfriend, it's just a lot. Especially when I'm back home in the summer, there's just I'm bouncing off the wall, doing things. It's crazy. It's nonstop. Nonstop.
What's one thing people don't realize about what it takes to play Division I hockey?
Okay, so I think this is kind of a loaded question because you could look at it as a hockey player, as a younger hockey player looking at a Division I hockey player, or just an outside person who doesn't really understand being a student or an athlete. So, for being a player, I would say you could have all the skill in the world, but it takes a lot more than just your skill. You have to be able to, go through the grind and not stay down when you get pushed down. You have to be able to fight back and just work through it. And as long as you work hard and you listen to who's coaching you and your just your role models and just who you look up to, if you could take that and just stay consistent with it, that's pretty much what it takes to play Division I hockey. It's the small nuances that really matter, that really get you to this level. If you're an outside person, it's a lot more than you would think. It's not just, oh, they're playing hockey, they're having fun, and just doing some schoolwork, whatever. There's some days I'm lifting at 6 a.m. and I have class till 9:30 at night, and I have everything in between. It's a 16-hour day. And, that's just a regular Monday sometimes. It's and then there's days where you have, tests on Monday and assignments due on Sunday, but we're on a plane Thursday going across the country to play some games that are really important to our team. So it's it's just a balance, and you have to be able to balance it out properly, and it works out pretty much.
So Division I men's ice hockey is really interesting because you typically, after high school, go and play juniors.
Right, yeah.
Did you play juniors?
Yeah.
How many years were you doing that?
I played juniors for 2 years, but I lived away for another year before that. I played 18U in Maine. So I lived in a few states. I lived in, originally, I was in Iowa. I played there for like 3 months. And then I went to South Dakota, Aberdeen, with my roommate, who I'm still like, he was on my team then, and he's like now my roommate now. So like that's really interesting. And then I played in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, with Zach Aben, actually. So this is where you like connect with guys on your team like through juniors. So that's also a cool part of it. But yeah, juniors is a big part. It's like almost everyone's journey as a hockey player. So that's a good way to connect with people and like see their stories and hear what they went through.
So you're a junior.
Yeah.
How old are you?
23. About to be 24 in a month.
That is, happy early birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, is that weird to be a junior and all your classmates are like 3 years younger than you?
Yeah, I mean it is, but I feel like most of the kids early on when you're a 21-year-old freshman, I think it's a little worse than me being in like a finance major class being 23, because I feel like when you're younger and you're in freshman classes, like everyone is just still like fresh out of high school. And, like, I've been living away from home for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just so much more experienced, and it's just, like, you feel older. But now, as they kind of catch up, like, they get more mature. And now you feel like, okay, these kids, they're, it's really not that much of a difference.
Yeah.
For, like, if I'm in my finance classes. Like,
yeah.
So.
All right. I want to talk about growing up around hockey. You've told me that your dad loved hockey but never got the chance to play. So how did that influence your relationship with the sport?
Yeah, so my dad's parents were immigrants from Italy, so they didn't really have the financials to put my dad in hockey. Like he played roller hockey here and there, and like he played in the street, but like he was never able to actually play ice hockey on a team in a league. So fast forward to me now playing, my dad has always told me, it's a privilege to play because there's other people who can't afford it, who can't play it. And, like, I look at him and I'm saying, like, yeah, like, absolutely. So I think that has influenced me the most, just realizing that it's a privilege and you got to be grateful for it. And you have to just, like, take advantage of the opportunity and never let it, get by without you trying.
And for people who don't know ice hockey, it's like
one
of the most expensive sports.
Oh, yeah.
Just equipment alone.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, the equipment is expensive, and then you're paying like $8,000 to $10,000 a year just to play travel.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is.
So what do you remember about the early days playing in the street or in your basement with your brothers?
Yeah, I think those times are always the times where like you think about here and there, and you're just like, you just smile. You wish you could go back just for a few hours and experience it again. It was just a time where, you just have fun and there was no other worries, and the only worry you would have is like, having to go to bed and like go to school the next day. Then, you do it all again at night. So it's just always great to have those memories and think back to the times. Really.
So you were the youngest. Did your older brothers make you be the goalie?
Actually, I mean, I was too small, so it was too easy for them. So like we would make my brother Vin be the goalie. He loved being the goalie for some reason. He was good too.
Really?
So like, yeah. So me and my brother John would shoot, and my dad, and then my brother Vin would be in goalie, and sometimes my sister would play with us too. So like,
oh my god.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, those are the best times. And we also had like a lot of cousins and friends who lived on the block, so we would always have big games going on.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
When did hockey stop being just a sport and start becoming part of who you are?
I would say probably when I started high school, because I was playing for a bigger crowd. I was playing for more than just like a travel team with just parents who were really, the only ones who know about the games. So I would say when I would, play in front of a school and represent a school, I think that was when it really became, part of who I was. Like I was known for like, the kid who plays hockey as a freshman, varsity as a freshman, and like played the whole 4 years. So that was big. And then like you talked about juniors before, like that's when it also became like really a part of who I was, because that's exactly what I was there to do. Like I was I wasn't working. I wasn't doing school. I was strictly playing hockey, and I was dedicating my whole life to it. So that was when it really became like actually a part of who I was. And ever since then, it's been that way.
Do you think you identify, I'm trying to think of how to properly word this question, but do you think hockey is your identity as a whole, or do you think it's just part of who you are?
I think now I'm starting to realize that it's just a part of who I am. Mm-hmm. It's not my whole identity. I think that there's just a lot of other things in life that I enjoy. So I just think that there's more to life than just hockey. Like, it's like a chapter. Mm-hmm. And, I would play as long as I could play. But at the end of the day, it doesn't last forever. And everyone knows that. So you have to be able to diversify and find other things you like. So I would say that it's just a little part of me, but definitely has had a big impact on my last 15 years.
Yeah. When you first visited Stonehill, what stood out to you about the campus?
Well, I don't really love like a big campus. Mm-hmm. Like just the thought when I was younger, the thought of like having to walk miles and like to class, like that always was just like not what I wanted to do. So when I came to Stonehill, I just loved how like, nice and like pretty the campus was. Like it's pretty small. My mom and dad were with me. So like when my mom saw the church, like she was like crying. Like she loved it. So that was also a big part of it. And it just seemed like a very homey feel, which is what I loved about it.
I felt the same way too about Stonehill when I visited. It's definitely a homey feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if you ever heard this when you were touring schools, but I was always told when you step onto a campus, you have a feeling. Yeah. And that's when you know that's the school.
Exactly.
Did you have that feeling at Stonehill?
Bit. Absolutely. So
did the church help out?
The church was definitely like the telltale sign. So
you're very religious.
Yeah, I would say my family's pretty religious. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesus Christ followers for sure.
Okay. Good for you. What made the opportunity to help build a Division I program special to you?
I just think that it's kind of like an honor just to be able to do it. Like at first, you don't really realize it, and then as you move on in your years as a college hockey player, like you kind of just realize like you need a purpose. And like we originally weren't playing for anything. We kind of felt like an exhibition team. We were just a new program, but the more you talk about it as a group and as a team, it's just like the purpose is clearly to build for the future generations to come in.
Yeah.
It has to be started somewhere, and you have to build off of something. So it's more like being productive, and it's honestly a lot of fun that you are helping build something bigger than just winning a championship, in my opinion.
So you're part of the group laying the foundation for Stonehill hockey. What does that responsibility feel like?
Yeah, I would say it's a big responsibility, but it's one that you're grateful for. Like just to be a part of that, it's an honor to be a part of that and to help us, lay that foundation down and try and help push the program in the right direction. It's a big responsibility, but it's a good one.
How do you and your teammates stay motivated when building a program literally from the ground up?
Yeah, I think that a big part of motivation is just pushing each other, sticking to that culture pillar that I was talking about of accountability, like keeping each other accountable, keeping yourself accountable. I think that's a big way to stay motivated and just push to be the best every day. And have a shared purpose, like a shared goal. That is a big motivator as well. And I think that, just as a hockey player in general, like you're there to have fun. You're there to just play the sport that you've been playing your whole life. So just have fun, hold yourself accountable, and reach the team goal. That's a motivator.
So speaking of those pillars that you were mentioning, do you take those pillars like accountability and anything else that you guys really stick to and apply it to your life outside of hockey?
Absolutely. If there's one thing that I could say about hockey is that it has taught me so much that I could transform outside of hockey. Mm-hmm. So even these last few years, we've learned so much, and that's a big part where you're like, all the experiences you go through, like they're cool experiences, but like just being able to experience and learn those things and how to build a team and how to just be a better person outside of hockey is just, it's like crucial. And I thought that was really important and good for each and every one of us.
What do you hope for future Stonehill hockey players, what they will say about the teams that came before them?
Yeah, like I was talking about with the foundation, I think that we have to be the ones, we have to be known for setting that standard. Working hard, team first mentality, being accountable. If they could build off of that and have that base to build off of, like, they will reach such higher spots than we have reached, and they'll be able to see a lot more success for the program. So it's good.
You're paving the way for future generations, 100%.
Yeah.
So the team's first Division I win against Lindenwood was a huge moment for you guys. Can you walk me through that moment, take me through the night? What do you remember the most?
Yeah, I think that whole year we were kind of like, we didn't see much success, and we were kind of like hopeless in a way. Like, we were a new program with a really great schedule. So it was hard to compete every night, especially without many systems and structure to our game like we do have now. But I think winning that game, one of the biggest things that I remember from that night was just the celebration when we scored the empty netter goal and like we sealed the deal. Like, that was like a sigh of relief. Like, we were like 6-on-5 for a couple minutes, and like we were thinking they might score a goal, but when we scored that go-ahead goal, like that insurance goal, was really big for us, and we were happy with that. So that was probably the biggest thing that I remember from that night.
When you go into a 6-on-5, at the end of the game, you're winning, they're trying to get a goal. What is your mentality? Like, how do you approach that kind of play?
Yeah, you just have to be disciplined. It's like every other part of the game. There's a structure for it, and if you stay in that structure, discipline, five people doing what they have to do the right way, like it'll work out, But if you have one or two guys going off on a tangent, doing too much, it might expose a certain area, and then they have 6 guys on the ice, so that's when they could do something with it. So just sticking to it and just getting through it, doing what you have to do to win the game, block a shot, get the puck out, be on the ice for 2 minutes if you have to. Like, they're all contributing to the win.
So that win against Lindenwood, did that feel like a turning point for the program?
Definitely a little bit, because I think that game gave us the belief aspect that if we could do that in the situation we're in, when we start to grow more and more, like, we will be able to do this a lot more. And that was a big part of the turning point, just having that belief, which is still a part of our culture. Belief is one of the main things in our culture. So
what did it feel like having the women's ice hockey team there supporting you guys?
Yeah, that was really cool, because especially with our schedules, like, they don't line up perfectly, so like we're not always able to watch each other play. So just them being there was really cool to experience it with them. We're pretty close with the women's hockey team. We have been for as long as I've been here. So that was cool that we got to experience with them, and I'm pretty sure we partied after that. So it was cool that they were there.
Okay, so you talk a lot about your teammates and the logo that you wear. So what makes this group so special?
Yeah, I think that it starts in training camp when, you're meeting new teammates and you're hearing their stories and what they went through. I think that for hockey players in general, that's a big way to like break the ice. You just hear each other's stories, and like you connect people, organizations you've been a part of, and that gets it off the ground. And then it's just, going through those ups and downs throughout the seasons with your team, talking through things and understanding each other, I think is very, very important for us. And, as we grow that bond throughout the year, it leads us to having success. Like, I could hang out with any person on the team and feel the same, just because we're like all one, which is like, it's not like normal either. Like it's hard to get to that point. So I think that was great for us and some of our success that we saw at the end of the year.
You guys have a special bond.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I have some rapid fire questions for you now. Just right off the top of your head, just say the first thing you can think of. Ready? Favorite NHL team?
New York Islanders.
Favorite player?
Sidney Crosby.
Pre-game music, hype or calm?
Hype.
What kind of music do you typically gravitate towards too?
It starts off with some Nickelback.
Okay.
With Cole Milady, he likes to play some Nickelback, and then I put my own AirPods in and I play some Migos.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Best chirper on the team?
Patrick Murphy and Donnie Posma.
Hockey superstitions?
I have a few, just like some pregame things that I do. Like I tie my right skate first. You know, I tape my stick a certain way. Between periods, I like put my helmet and gloves like in the corner where like no one else is, like on the floor. Just like some little things. But I think that over time in my career, like they kind of came to like less and less of my superstitions just because like I would do them and then like the game would not go the way I wanted to and then I'd be like, all right, it didn't work. Change it up. Yeah.
So I want to talk about your family a little bit because you were saying before you're very family oriented. So you said a lot of your values come from how you were raised. So how has your family helped shape the way you approach hockey and life?
Yeah, I think a lot of the values that I've gained from my family in my childhood, they transform right into my life and just anything I do really, playing hockey. And, you know, some of those values being like being down to earth, being humble, being respectful, you know, obviously treating others, the golden rule, treating others the way you want to be treated. I think that's big. And if you could keep those and take those throughout your life and always remember that, you stay balanced and it helps you not get, you know, too high or too low at times. You just kind of like stay humble and like just happy and just do what you have to do and work hard.
So I want to highlight one family member that you have, which is your mom. She is TikTok famous. She has over like 200,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
That is a pretty big number.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to have a famous mom?
Well, I mean, it feels the same as it's always felt. Like, it's just my same mom I've had my whole life.
Yeah.
I've always thought that she could have been famous, though. Like, just, she's always so popular. Everyone loves her. She's always such a nice person.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's really cool. My sister plays a big part in that because she would take videos of my mom, like, while she's, like, yelling at me or, like, my siblings. And eventually she posted them and they just, like, kind of blew up. So, like, ever since then, I think my mom has, like, tried to find, like, a purpose in, like, using this social media platform for something better. And, you know, she spreads a lot of joy and happiness for her followers. And she likes to post a lot of cooking recipes, so it's good.
I'm going to have to look at her cooking recipes.
They're really good.
What's your favorite?
Them
You use them
all
yourself?
The time. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing that she cooks?
It's so hard because she makes so many different, like, good pastas and everything. Like, she honestly makes any like ethnicity too. Like, she's making anything. Like, she's really good at, like, making everything.
Okay.
So
I'm going to have to come over and have a home cooked meal by your mom.
Yeah, you should.
You can be there if you want, but I'm just going to go there myself. Okay. So you're from New Jersey. So being from New Jersey and playing hockey in Massachusetts, how important is it to have your family's support even from a distance?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important things for me as a hockey player. I've been away for 6 years, like we were talking about with junior hockey, and they've always been there for me. You know, being the youngest in the family, I've learned valuable lessons from each and every one of them. And just being able to, like, do it for them in a way has been a big thing. So having their support and just them watching my games with friends and families and sending me texts after the games, like, it means everything to me. And I don't think I would be there without them. So it's big. It's a lot for me. It's a lot of help.
What's something your parents taught you that still shows up in how you approach the game today?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, like I mentioned before, is just, like, having the privilege to play and being grateful for the situation you're in, because, you know, not everyone gets that opportunity. So if you work hard and everything you do and you put your all into it and not take anything for granted, you know, I think that's just so important, and that has helped me throughout my career. Just play like it's your last game.
I like that saying a lot. Play like it's your last game, because you never know.
Never know.
All right. If younger Anthony could see you playing Division I ice hockey now, what do you think he would say?
I don't think he would be too surprised.
Really?
Yeah. So like hockey, maybe not. Like, I would be a little surprised about hockey just because I played so many sports. Like, I would think, you know, maybe football or like soccer. I played soccer a lot. So I would think that just because of like the athlete I was. So I would hope that I could land a Division I gig. But for hockey, you know, I'm the second one who's really played ice hockey in my family. Mm-hmm. So that was just like, you know, a little crazy. It was a big jump. And I would, as a younger self, would be curious of how that journey went, just because it was like we didn't know what the journey actually looked like.
Right.
So it kind of just unfolded day by day, which is cool.
Everything happens for a reason.
That's one of my favorite sayings too.
It's so true, though. Yeah. Everything does, no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. When you think about helping build this program, what kind of legacy do you hope your class leaves behind?
Yeah, I think just like as we were talking about before, that foundation, being able to set the standard, you know, working hard every day, being accountable, team first mentality, that is very important, because the future generations will come in. If they know what that standard is, they could build off of that the right way, and they will reach levels that we've never been able to. But if we could set that standard and have that foundation, they're able to do it. So that's really important for us. I hope that's our legacy.
I have one last question for you. Mm-hmm. What is one piece of advice you would want to give your freshman year self? Okay,
I would tell my freshman year self just to enjoy every moment. Enjoy all the times with your friends, and enjoy your classes, because, you know, you're not going to take class anymore. And enjoy the early lifts. Enjoy the late practices, enjoy the bus rides and the plane rides, because it's special to do that. So enjoy that. Don't be overwhelmed. Just enjoy the moment and take it easy and just have a good time.
Because it goes by really fast.
It goes by really fast.
Now you're a senior, basically.
It's crazy.
Very crazy.
It's crazy.
How do you feel about graduating next year?
Well, being 24, maybe 25 at the end of next year, like, I think I'll be ready to graduate.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll miss it for sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Mm-hmm. And thank you guys for watching. We will see you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. You're welcome. We'll see you in the next one.